What's up guys, Aaron here, and today we are at Bahrain for round number 4 in Season 15. Now, to start off with, I have to say I really hate this track. There's nothing I like about this track in particular. It just, my driving style doesn't go with this track whatsoever. I believe this track really awards players who like to push through every single turn, and in this turn, especially this downhill right and this upcoming downhill left that's coming up, if you can push really hard and just maximize the amount of speed without locking, you can gain a lot of time. And in terms of my driving style, that's just not how I drive. I'm very consistent, very smooth on the brakes and throttle, and just very consistent. So whatever I do to find time on this track in terms of consistency and race pace, I mean quality pace, it's just non-existent for me. So last season in season 14 I qualified a 28.8 and currently still right now a 29.0. So we're about to find out if we can beat our last season's time. So crossing the line right now, we do a 28.7, and we're only beating it by 1/10. The session right before this official race session, I did a practice quali with some of the guys here in the split, and I managed to do a 28.5. But honestly, I knew that was going to be extremely hard to recreate, and I wasn't too hopeful on that. So I'm actually really happy with my finishing position, which is P15. Certainly not a very good place to be, but we'll see what we can do in the race. Yeah, so coming up to the race start now, we've got a few lights here with 4 and 5 lights about to go off, and that will be lights out. We've got Camacho to our right, Stefano to our front, and there's going to be a gap coming up right in front of us. We're going to try to squeeze right in, but Camacho has the same idea, and we're going to be forced to leave him some room. So we're on the outside here, trying not to bang too many wheels, and luckily did not get any wing damage from that tap we've had with Camacho. So coming to turn 3 now, everyone's taking it very easy. Don't see too much carbon fiber flying. I think everyone has kept it fairly clean, and as far as race starts go, very good. No yellow flags, no spinning cars. Definitely a good one. So currently side by side, I believe that is AP Legends and us being on the outside now, which leads to the inside of this downhill left. That is for sure our position coming down here. We're gonna hop that curb. That was definitely a corner cut, but with no warning, and the game has decided to reward us. Very quickly now, we're going to talk about strategy. If you qualified within the top 10, you'll be starting on the super softs, obviously, and then take those to lap 9 or 10, and then pop on a set of mediums to go to the end of the race, lap 29. You can also go for a 2-stop. That would make you do 2 stints on super softs and then a last stint on softs. Depending on your style, you can switch those up in whatever order you want. But our style, or our tire strategy this race, since we've qualified outside the top 10, we've opted to go for the softs on to lap 12 and then mediums to the end of the race. So we are going to go side by side with Rendo 84 on the straight leading up to turn 3. We're going to be playing with our dials on our wheel, and we're going to accidentally brake like 10 meters early, and I think Rendo has, I think he took that as like us giving up the position, and so he goes a little deep and he kind of pushes us off the track. No big deal, it's kind of our fault. Can't really blame the guy. So yeah, currently lap 2, still P15, haven't lost any positions, haven't gained any positions, so it's not a very big deal, and it is a long race, 29 laps, and so coming up here, Rich, we're gaining on him, and we're going to go for a 50-50 move just to scare him. and we just got to remind him that we're still there. And now, cutting ahead to lap 3, we've got DRS enabled, but we've kind of lost sight of Rendo just a bit, a little too far back to get the move done or activate the DRS, but we're going to be right behind Rendo 84 coming to turn 1, and that's because he was battling with Stefan Wilde ahead, and we're going to be side by side, have the inside heading towards turn 3, and we're going to misjudge our braking point just a little bit. We're going to lock up and somehow get it to a stop and make the turn. And I thought for sure Rendo 84 was going to take that position back, but for some reason he wasn't able to get the switchback done on us. So whatever reason, I was happy that we got that move done. So coming off the last turn now, we've got Marb rejoining the track, and he goes straight all the way to the left. That is just irresponsible, man. That's just dangerous. Like, if I was 10 meters early, like closer, I would have hit him for sure. There's just nowhere I could have gone. And he tries to make the move on us at turn 1. We close him off. There's no contact, and that is our position. And I can tell you from this point on, he just drops back. He just completely just falls off the grid. And I think he's got some type of wing damage. Up ahead, we've got some crazy four-way battle into the S's. We have a Ferrari spinning and the Mercedes, the Stefan Wilde, pushing him through. And I have no idea how that happened. It was a little too far to see, but I think we're going to take this position from the Ferrari, giving us P12. And so far, there's been a positional lap since the start of the race, and which is pretty good. That's pretty efficient, I would say, in my book. And now coming up to the next lap here, we're going to see Aladar off to the side here. I think he spun off on the last turn. Not exactly sure what happened, but I remember him saying he had wing damage. So, yeah, 5 position, 5 laps, and suddenly we're in the points for P10. Lap 13, we're going to come in for our set of mediums. At this point in the race, we've been following Stefan Wilde for about 5 laps, and the gap to him was about 2 seconds. And 5 laps before that, it was 1.5 second gap. So he's outpacing us about 1 to 2 tenths a lap, depending if there are any mistakes. And so I knew my true opponent this race was going to try to battle the position from Stefan Wilde. So we try to come in a lap before he does to undercut him, but coming out of the pits, we're suddenly banging wheels with Jerry, and that wasn't good. I really needed some clean air so I can push and undercut Stefan Wilde, but we've got Jerry in front of us. And he was weaving on the straight saying sorry. I don't know why he was doing that. I think it was a racing incident. So yeah, visibly I could see that he was struggling, and this pace that he was doing was a little too slow for me. I mean, I honestly don't think I could have gone that much faster, but I really needed to just have this clean air. He's just totally in my way. So yeah, coming in DRS. Honestly, DRS on this back straight does nothing. It might get you closer, but you can never really get an overtake done. Just not enough room or straight away. So at this point, I was just really concerned that we weren't going to undercut Stefan Wilde in any way. I mean, with a 2 second gap, it was going to be extremely hard to undercut him anyways. But, you know, there's a chance that maybe when he comes out of the pits, we could be right behind him and maybe go for a move on him. So we've got Jerry going right, going left, defending, trying to break our slipstream. And we see a car coming out of the pits right now, and that has to be Stefan Wilde. We're going to go for a move on Jerry. And he has graciously left us enough room. He didn't have to do that, honestly. I hit the brakes way too early. I misjudged my braking point. I think I chickened out since I had DRS on. I didn't want to lock up into him, so I played it really safe. And Jerry also showed a lot of respect in that aspect by leaving us room at the very last minute, turning left so we had room to go side by side. But from that point on, we don't really see Jerry anymore. I think he was just struggling for consistency or some type of race pace. And yeah, he just drops off, and behind us now you can see it's Cameron B. It's not even Jerry. So coming up on this last turn of lap 18, we've got some crazy four-way battle yet again. This time involving 2 Williams and 2 Mercedes drivers. I believe on the Williams we've got WTDKs and AOR Ruben, and on the Mercedes we've got Stefan Wild and Wesselty. So coming up on to turn 3 now, we've got WTDKs right behind Stefan Wild. He's going to go for this dive bomb here. So we're going to go side by side through that turn, and they've gone really wide, rejoining the track. Wesselty's going to try to capitalize. We're going to try to capitalize, but managed to avoid him slightly, and Wesselty has just gotten to a collision with WTDKs. They've just collided with each other and lost their wings, so that has just given us a free 2 positions just by being right behind them and capitalizing on their mistakes. We were extremely lucky to not have been caught up on that. I could have gone totally the opposite direction if WTDKs managed to just keep sliding right instead of had his car flipping left yet again. We could have hit him instead of Wesselty. So cutting ahead 5 laps, we are going to be lap 24, and Grezu, our teammate's on a 2-stop, so we're going to let him right through. Don't want him to lose any time. And by this time in the race, I knew I was getting outpaced by Stefan Wild. He's a good 3-4 seconds up the road, and we were just losing pace to him. At first it was 1/10 a lap, and then it became 2/10 a lap. But we managed to keep Cameron B behind us, so I knew it was possible to have Grezu catch up and maybe slow him down if possible. I didn't know what I was expecting, but then, you know, it's a team effort trying to win the constructors. Let him through. So we have Aladar behind us, and we're going to try to defend last lap. We just absolutely need to keep our position. We cannot lose this position. We've fought so hard to make it into the points, and we're just going to try to go side by side coming out to turn 2 and just don't have the grip. We just could not turn in, and he just rockets right out. And we're going to continue behind Aladar. This is me maximum try hard with worn tires. This is me trying to be putting as much pressure on Aladar, hoping he makes a mistake. I was at this point, I couldn't believe that I let him pass me, and I thought I was going to be able to, but I was extremely angry that I made it so easy for him. So my lines through this lap were absolutely great, in my opinion. Because compared to how I was driving the rest of this race, I was just driving it so poorly. But suddenly this last lap, really, you know, we're keeping him with Aladar somehow, or right behind him, just hoping he makes a mistake. But we're going to make a mistake here. We're going to lock up just a little bit, and to our surprise, we have AR Ruben rejoining the track. That's going to be another position, and I was happy at this point. I was like, I'll take it. P6 is still pretty good. We have Stefan Wild rejoining the track, and it's like, okay, we got to throw this into Rich. We're about to out of fuel, hit DRS. Slow motion for you guys. We make it right past the line, last second. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe that happened, to be honest. I was ecstatic when that happened. Just the last lap shenanigans. And somehow, with penalties, Aladar's P6 and we are P4 with Grezu in P3. So, as a team, Red Bull did great, and it was definitely the right call to let Grezu through when he caught us on lap 24. I knew with those super softs you could probably catch Stefan Wild up front. So, I believe Railgon won the race. Congratulations to him. And Lamp with a P2 congratulations to him. So right now, those two are doing absolutely great in the championship. Hopefully with the upcoming tracks, which will be our stronger tracks, we will have better performances and quality and more consistent point scoring positions in the race as well. So for sure, I think it's going to get better, because typically the first couple tracks in the season, they suck all the time. It's just our worst tracks. So coming up on the driver table here, we are P5 in the Drivers' Championship currently. Haven't really had that many great races. Had the first three races where we bottled each time. We easily could have had better positions in each race each time, and we're still P5 just by scoring some points somewhat regularly. So if we can just clean up our act just a little bit, we will be in the drivers' fight, a drivers' championship fight for P1. And if Lamp continues to run away with this, I'd easily be in the fight for P2, P3, P4. So currently looking pretty good. And yeah, so I try to go with a more relaxed mood on how to commentate my videos. I don't know, commentating isn't a natural thing for me, so I've just kind of taken a step back and I've tried to relax and just kind of talk how I normally talk to people I interact with on a daily basis. So I don't know, maybe you guys like this, maybe you guys don't, but if you guys continue to watch this far in this video, I thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I hope you liked my race. So have a good one, and thanks for watching.